All right. Hello, everybody. My name's Sergeant Rusty, and this is part two of Mining for Beginners in No Man's Sky. If you missed the first part, we went over the device that you need on your multi-tool to find mineral deposits down on the planet, which was the first survey device. You can unlock this at the anomaly with some nanites. It's below another item. It's all the way over on the right hand side. You've got to buy the first one, and then you can buy this one, and then you need about 750 to 1,000 nanites. Should get you both of those unlocked with some left over. And then we also covered where to get the technology you need for mining in the first place. And that's unlocked with salvage data that you find and dig up on the planets with the terrain manipulator. That can be another video, but we're just going over mining today. So, but if you missed part one, I will leave a link in the description below. And so you can go check that out. And then I do stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. And if you have any questions or you just want to come by, I'd love to see you. Even if I'm playing something else and you got a question from this video or anything about No Man's Sky, just go ahead and ask me between me and my chat. We will get you to where you need to go. Okay, so let's get into this. I wanted to go over something real quick. And that was, it seemed like a little was confusing about the mineral classes, the mineral deposit classes. And they're in classes just like everything else, from C, B, A, and S. C being the lowest tier, S is the highest tier. What those tiers are, they affect the mineral density that are actually at the deposits. So it'll be slower to get C's minerals out of a C deposit rather than the S would be very quickly. Let me go ahead and do my hazard protection there. So, you could just get minerals faster. Now that was affected us more up until a couple patches ago, because minerals used to get a lot more money for minerals. That's how I made my money. That's how a lot of people made money. There are some minerals that were $999 for one unit. So they would make these big, massive mines. They would look for an S and drop 25 or who knows how many extractors down on one deposit, and then they wanted filling up as fast as they could every hour. Seemed to be the standard. And they would go get millions of dollars an hour out of these deposits, but that's since been nerfed. And now I feel I'm getting all my money from crafting right now. So you want as high as density as deposit you can find, but as it does take a lot of time to run around these planets to find these deposits in the first place. So my personal standard, if you will, is I like to have a B or better, right? Although as I'm playing this, there are some cases that can be made for C's, especially in the beginning, and there's some minerals that you're not going back there, you don't need a lot of. So if you just throw some extractors and a bunch of supply depots down, and you're going back every once in a while, which is what I'm doing now. I'm going back every once in a while. It works just fine. And then in the beginning of the game, when you don't have anything, if you come across a C, it's very simple to put a simple mine down so you can start getting some minerals in your deposit. Like this one is copper, so we can start getting some copper in our pocket, and we can start doing stuff with it, like making chromatic metal with it, which is what you need. And then we can move on to something else, to build our empire, if you understand what I'm saying. So that's it. I wouldn't pass up any deposit. And also, if you found a lower tier deposit like a C, like this was a copper, and we come across another one later on, it's very easy to drop another base computer and just move our base over here, especially in the beginning, because usually the mines are going to be pretty simple. You don't have to build a big palace right, to get started. You know, that's where people kind of seem overwhelmed. They see these big exotic mansions and massive mine farms, and that's not where you start, at least in my opinion. You know, everybody plays this game differently, but that's how I'm doing. I'm just dropping down simple stuff, getting stuff in my pocket, automated the process a little bit to make us better, stronger, faster. So I think I've covered that pretty good. Of course, any questions about that, I'm happy to answer them in the comments below or come by the stream. You know, like I said, there'll be links to the first video and my Twitch channel. Just come by my stream and ask away. Yeah, we like helping people there, and we will get you to where you need to go. So let's get into some mine building. Now, in the first video, we found a deposit, right? It was copper. You can see it's a C class. It's the lowest tier. But it's going to work for what we need, and even work for you in the beginning stages of the game, right? So we're going to try to get as close to the center as we can. It's the max density, because when you find a deposit, you know, when you find the max density, you're basically standing in the center. So the farther you work away from the circle, the less, you know, the less minerals there are, so it'll take longer. But I'm nowadays, the most extractors I have in my mind is 3, and I mean, the average is 3. The most I have is 6, and it works just fine. I wouldn't worry about that unless you're going to make 300 refiners. You know, then there's no need to do that. But you see what I'm saying? You'll be just fine. So to find the center, you know, because we obviously want that, right? I just go left and right, until I get an effect, and then I go up and down until you get as close as you can. 39% is the highest I've ever been able to get, because that 40 is so exact. You know what I mean? It doesn't. I don't feel it's that important to be able to nail 40, but you know, your mind is what you want to make it. So, but we're going to drop every mineral extractor down. We'll need 5 plates and chromatic metal. Chromatic metal comes from copper that has been run through a refiner, right? You probably got a portable refiner now, or a personal one, or maybe even you got a semi-base with a medium refiner. Any of the refiners will do it, right? So you have that in there. So we'll drop this right here, and then we can check it. It's 36%. I would take that. That's just fine. But let's see if we can move it a little bit more. I think it might be good forward. So let's see how we did. 37. That's perfectly fine. You know, more than likely you're going to be coming back. I'm coming back to mine every once in a while. You know, so that's fine. I've seen people stress over, I got to get to 40. I understand about that, but this will get you where you need to go. You know, we're almost in the center. You know, and in most mines, I'll have 1 on either side of this. Will be 3, so it'll be just fine. So then we'll lay down a biofuel reactor. Needs 1 metal plate and 25 oxygen. All right. And then we'll connect it with the wire, and then we'll load it up with some carbon. We'll run for 50 hours here. 49, 59, 54. 49 hours. Congratulations, everybody, you're mining. That's it. We come up here. This thing has an overall storage just by itself of 250. Okay, it's making 232 hour where it is. 1 hour and 4 minutes it'll take to fill up, and you have 250, and it will always be making this. You know, your problem will be get back here trying to keep it empty. That'll be your problem. And so you don't have to run around looking for copper anymore over time, because these mines, as we got 50 hours on our portable reactor there, and this, even though no matter what side, as long as it's got power, okay, it's going to work. So you will come here at the end of your playtime, like I'm going to sleep, come over here, empty out your mind. Okay, it'll be 0. You log off. You go to bed, you get up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, obviously, and then log on. You're going to have 250 copper in here. You grab it and you keep on moving about your day. So it's always working for you, which is fantastic. And like I said, 49 hours, as long as you got a couple days, so you don't have to mess with this for a couple days. So that's it. You just run across the planet real fast. You found a mine real quick. You threw down a base computer over here, right? And then you drop the extractor and a biofuel down, and you've got this. I mean, I'm thinking like you're at the beginning, which is most people that I meet are at the very beginning, and they get tied up, and you got to build a big palace and all this other stuff. No, you don't. You will. You eventually will. I mean, some people make big fancy bases, which is some of their talent is amazing, but that's not what we need to get started. So and so that's it. And so I know what you're saying. I need more. I got you. I know what you're saying. So the next thing we can make is a supply depot, which is 10 metal plates. Okay, so we'll put this down. Now this thing will hold 1,000 of whatever, a mineral or a gas. That's the things that go in here. So there's 1,000. And it took 10 metal plates. Now to make metal plates, right, we need 50 ferrite dust. So that's 500 ferrite dust. Plus the 250 for the extractor, because that took 2 and then another 50. So you got 300 over at the extractor and the portable biofuel reactor. You got 3 and you got 500 here. So that's already 800. So you're going to be looking for a rusted metal mine pretty soon. That's another important one, but we'll talk about that later. So we got this storage. It really doesn't going to do us any good until we connect it. That's what the supply pipe is for. There it is again, ferrite, dust, and carbon. All right, so it's the only place on the extractor these hook on, and then you hook to here. All right, so we got 1,000 here. We got a 250 over here. So if you check the supply, 1,250. That's how you check to make sure if you got a bunch of supply depots and extractors down. You count them up. You should know what the overall storage should be, and if it's not, something isn't quite connected just right. You know how janky this thing can be. Okay, so that's it. And I didn't look at the time. So 5 hours. So it's 1250. So as you're playing the game, you're 3 hours in, I need some copper. You won't have 1250, but you'll have some over here. Usually enough to get you where you need to go, but as time goes on, Rusty, I need more. Okay, then. Let's get into it. So we'll put a depot on this side because I want to show you something. And then depot on this side. All right, now we got 2 more. Now we got to hook them up. What I wanted to show you is there's 4 connectors on these supply depots. There's only one right on this. So it can only take 2. Like this is the only spot on the extractor you can hook a supply pipe. It can only handle 2 connections. And same with these. These can only handle 2 connections. So if I pick one here and I try to connect it over here, it won't connect. It'll connect there. So we have 4 more. So we can connect it in the middle like this. Or we connect it on the back. Right? So these are all connected. So 3,250. Shazam. Now it's 13 hours. I know what you're saying. I need more. Okay. We got that. So we can drop another extractor. All right. And then we will need another biofuel reactor because these take 50 kps, their unit of power here. And that's what a biofuel reactor puts out. So for each extractor, at least for this setup, you're going to need a biofuel for each one. So we'll load it up 50 hours again. All right. So we're good to go there. Now, but this is 250, right? So it's still making its own, but to connect it to the unit, right, we're going to connect the supply pipe up. Okay. And now we're good to go. And then it should have come close to halving it. So there's half. So it's 3,500. I mean, this is how all my mines got built. I would put one down or two down, whatever materials I had. That didn't work. See, that's what I mean. That's a good example right there. You can make sure they're connected like that. Although we have one in the center, that's what backed us up on that. But they went up one at a time, right? One extractor went up at a time. One thing went up at a time. You know, we can drop a couple more of these down. So but these are 500 ferrite dust a piece. So as you build up your inventory, right? And then I just, you know, connect them like this. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extractor or 5 depots, 2 extractors. Now we got 5,500. 5 supplies, 2 extractors, and it's making 457 an hour, and it'll fill up in 11 hours. And like I said, they run overnight, so you come clean it out. By the time you get up in the morning after solid 8, you have 3 hours to go, but you'll be close to 5,500, and you don't have to make it anymore, if you see what I mean. Right? This will get you, this is probably too much. I'd probably just stick to 3 because I got the C going, I got this going. I don't have any solar panels, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. That's what's going on. So, I can't think of anything else to tell you. There's more power options. There's more power options, so we can run this 24 hours a day, but you don't have to mess with it, right? Yeah, because you start getting 20 mines, right? You don't want to run around filling up your biofuels all the time. It's it takes a lot of carbon for that. So, but I just wanted to show you this because this will get you going quickly, right? Get some copper mine, you get oxygen mine. To manage this ferrite dust, if you start throwing down a lot of mines, right? Because you can see the amount of ferrite dust we're going through. You need a rusted metal deposit if you find one, right? And once you get that rusted metal deposit going, it takes some refining time after that, right? It'll take you some refining time, but you won't have to go around mining rocks. You know what I'm saying? That didn't do it. Mining rocks. So, you can't do that. You can be looking for other deposits, et cetera, looking for ships or whatever you're doing. So I think that's that pretty much covers what I want to talk about today for this. So one extractor and a couple depots is all you need, and then you have mineral. Like I said, just get yourself going, right? We don't need flowing waterfalls and elevators just yet, right? And then you can throw down a ring. He's going to need his own biofuel, but that will all be fixed in the next video because we'll be going over next other power options for the space. So that's about it, everybody. Like I said, the link for part 1 and my Twitch channel will be down in the description. And then any questions you have, leave it in the comments below, or come by my channel. I would love to see you. So Thanks for watching, everybody. I want you to have a great night or day wherever you are, and you can do it. You've got it. You got all the information you need to get going, but there will be a part 3. We'll, be going over some more stuff. And, then we'll work the solar panel and the batteries into it. And then that'll make it a 24-hour operation where you don't have to do anything but come by and scoop stuff up. So I'm going to stop rambling now. And thanks again for watching the video. And I hope to see you soon. Good night, everybody.